Welcome to Loudermilk Field Sunday baseball action. We are here for a beautiful day. Davis Barlow, Danielle Percival on the call today. Rubber match between Emory and Piedmont.
Excited to be here with you, Davis. It's a gorgeous one out here. A lovely Sunday afternoon. Sun is shining. A little overcast, but beautiful spring day at the ballpark.
We'll look to make it work nonetheless. Adam Mativier on the bump for Piedmont. The lefty will look to lock down this Emory offense that got to the starter early yesterday, Danielle. That was one of the keys for Emory to take the game. They played ahead, which is a massive thing to do for 6+ innings, forced Piedmont to play catch up and, well, ultimately came up just a little bit short.
Yeah, early offense was able to help the Eagles. 2 home runs, one in the first and one in the third, helping to kind of set that momentum, set the pace of the game. Lions playing catch up all the way. Scored 3 runs in the 6th inning. Not enough, though, in the comeback effort there in those final innings. But the Lions did see some promise from some of those pitchers in the later innings of the game. Jackson Randolph coming in and pitching to the minimum over the final 2 innings. Really a standout performer coming in and pitching the 8th and the 9th inning.
Yeah, the velocity looked really good. 90+ out of him. Good breaking ball as well. The 2 home runs here yesterday from the Eagles. One over the scoreboard and one over the center field wall. We were talking about the math behind that. I mean, to get it over that center field wall as a wall scraper is 430. He hit that baseball probably about 450.
Incredibly impressive.
Wasserloff leads off for the Eagles. Here he is swinging at this first pitch. It's skied to right field, up in that big wind gust it is, but only to the warning track. Trace Kate secures that one. 1 pitch, 1 out for Mativier, and that's about as good of a start as you could ask for.
Yeah, good to see Kate out there in right field. Of course, he's been the staple out there, but we did see him wear a pretty hard one on the arm. Wasn't sure if it was the arm, the elbow. Had to see Gabby Lauder, trainer, come out and look at him, but stayed in the game, of course, and good to see him back out there today.
Yeah, that one did not sound good yesterday. You can tell when somebody gets hit by a pitch and it catches straight bone, and he spent a good deal of time trying to get some feeling back in that arm before returning to action. Lawson into the box here, swings at the second pitch, fouls it off towards the Piedmont softball field. Count moves to 1-1. Lawson will be in right field today for the Eagles. Wasserloff didn't give us a chance to talk about him at all, but he is the first baseman batting leadoff as this one's grounded over to Helgeson, fielded and tapped for out number 2, just like that. I guess Mativier doesn't want us to talk about Emory too much.
Well, Piedmont defensively, your normal infield across, you've got Helgeson, Hicks, Mix, and Carlson, but out in the outfield where we've kind of seen some different pieces maybe trying to fit their way into it. Mullinack out in left field, we've seen him kind of camp out there and really earn that spot. We do have a little bit different in center field today. That one's kind of become the place that we've seen a little bit of change. We've got Skylar Willis out there in center field and, of course, Trace Kate over in right.
Yeah, Cole Ellis not active this weekend. That is a big hole, big gap in center field. We've seen a couple names. We've seen Funk, we've seen Willis, we've seen Dupuis. All of these guys get time out in the outfield. And, of course, Tyler Nelson behind the plate. Here's Mativier, delivers the 0-2. It's fouled off out of play. We'll do it again here. But Danielle, I think you hit the nail on the head perfectly. They're really looking for the answer, trying to figure out what this outfield combination is going to be, especially now. I mean, it feels like we just started, but we only have 3 home series left. And
Mativier makes quite the statement there.
He does. That is a 1-2-3 inning with some dominance there from Mativier. We'll take a short break, and we're back for the bottom of the first. Welcome back. Bottom of the first, Piedmont University Athletics. Davis Barlow, Danielle Percival here. Danielle, quick inning for Adam Mativier. Now let's see if Piedmont can have a long bottom of the first.
Yeah, making quick work of it there in the top of the first. We've got Caden Stevenson leading off for Piedmont in that designated hitter spot. Freshman working his way into the lineup, one of those spots that we've kind of seen a little bit of a revolving door, trying to figure out what this lineup's really going to look like offensively.
That's a great way to put it. We've seen maybe double-digit Lions occupy this spot. It was Mac Barton when he was back healthy. Mullinak's gotten some swings. Cruz has also seen some time in there. Nelson when he's not catching. And now it's occupied by Caden Stevenson. And this is another big question for Piedmont. Cole Ellis normally occupies this leadoff spot. He's missed really half of the season at this point here, and they have not had an answer just yet when he's not been there.
Stevenson has come in and made quite the statement so far.
Oh.
Where's the first one that he sees? And so he'll take his base, but Stevenson had a big performance down at Emory, had a pair of doubles, and then earned the start yesterday as well. So we'll see how that works and see if this maybe is that missing piece that they've been looking for now that Mullinak made his way into playing in the field as well.
Well, you ask your leadoff man to get on, and it's not the way he wanted to, but Caden Stevenson jogs down to first. Looks like he's doing good, and now into the box is another interesting lineup switch here. Tyler Nelson, who we normally see in the 5 or 6 hole here, is in the 2 hole today. First pitch to Nelson, fastball outside for ball number 1.
He is one of the few everyday starters that is above 300 on the season. You've kind of stacked that order there at the 2, 3, 4 spots now with Nelson, Kate, and Mullinak. So we'll see how this works, and maybe this is the key to success, switching things up.
Squaring to bunt is Nelson. He'll pull it back as that one is well out of the zone. So a plus count here for Tyler Nelson. Just 4 RBIs on the season, though you mentioned it. He's swinging .302, slugging .372. Just hasn't had the min on in front of him here. Pick off and a slide back into first safely there for Stevenson.
So not counting Stevenson, you've got 5 batters in this order who are hitting over 300. Of course, you've also got that 8-9 hole where you've got Helgeson and Mix who've really come through, kind of helping to set the table, getting back to the top of the order once you're working into those middle innings.
And that's a big plus for this Piedmont lineup because both of those young men are really in the lineup for their defense. You put them in the 8-9 hole, and any production you get from them is great because of what they bring defensively to the table at the shortstop and first base positions. Stevenson's got an aggressive lead. He will not be going. Swinging on the pitch is Nelson and finds nothing but air. Count will go to 2-1.
Got to be a bit rattling as a pitcher on that first pitch of the game to sneak a little too far inside.
He stayed away with every pitch to Nelson here. Third pickoff attempt at Stevenson there will be unsuccessful. Hey, you never want to start the game with a hit by pitch, or let alone really anywhere you didn't mean to throw the ball. Two-one count. Hasn't showed great command yet. Up once more, so the count goes to 3-1 here. Interesting to see if Nelson will elect to take this pitch or if he will be given the green light on 3-1, just one strike out of Reynolds so far. 3-1 on the way. Ooh, up and in, almost catches him in the face, and that will be a 5-pitch walk. And well, that's drawn some movement in that Emory dugout here. We might see a quick mound visit as the Eagles don't want to let this one spiral out of control before they have a chance to even really get started.
Yeah, pretty much the opposite start of how things were going for Piedmont defensively or Emory offensively in that top of the first, because we saw a quick work. I mean, we were barely able to get things out before pitches were put into play and the like. And so not what you want to see if you are Emory working here in the bottom of the first, but if you're a Lions fan, it's looking good so far.
Breaking ball on the inner portion of the plate. You're just not going to get that call when you haven't been in the zone at all today. It's a borderline pitch for Reynolds, but it will be ball number 1. Kate's swinging .359, Danielle. He leads Piedmont in 2 very big categories. In the starting lineup today, he leads in batting average, technically tied with Isaac Mullinak, except he has 64 at-bats, which is the team high. Ooh, and that is a Big hack there, fouled into the glove for strike number 1.
Also leads the team with 23 hits, second in the lineup with 17 RBI. So he's really made the most of those at bats as well, putting the ball into play and making things happen for the Lions.
Can move as well once he gets on the base path, 4 for 4 on stolen bases, but he'd love to add a couple more RBIs here. 1-1 pitch, grounded to short, backhand will be booted. It'll be a hit either way. There was not going to be an out to be found there. And so now the bases are loaded.
With no outs. So good start for the Lions, who struggled offensively to start the year, kind of found some momentum through a couple of series, couple of tournaments. Didn't necessarily have that same firepower over the last couple of games. Just scored 4 runs, I believe, against Methodist in that series finale. Only 5 at Emory. It was enough to pull out the victory, but for a team that had been hitting into double digits in the run totals, it was a little bit of a decline. We'll see if they can get back in that in the scoring way early in this one.
First pitch strike there to the cleanup hitter, Isaac Mullinack. They went with the breaking ball there, no surprise. So a big situation already. Bottom of the first, nobody out. Bases loaded for the cleanup spot. 0-1 is down. Count goes to 1-1. If you missed the Piedmont season, well, they started here with about the highest level of competition that you could bring. 3 should be regionally ranked teams, and 2 of them currently ranked. NC Wesleyan fighting to get in there. Chapman, of course, slotted in that top 15. And then they dropped back a little bit for another spring tournament there. Welcomed more teams from out of state. Hanover was a good one. That's a pitch clock violation there.
Looking like maybe there's a little miscommunication between the battery there, as they just really could not seem to get on the same page, with a lot of signaling, trying to get on the same page, and eventually too much time.
Reynolds was hot with Ditchman, the catcher there. He was not happy, telling him to hurry up. That is crushed into right center field, tailing away from the center fielder. No chance he catches it. It's in the gap. 1 run will score. Second one's coming. Third one's right behind. It's a bases clearing double. Piedmont leads 3-0.
And Isaac Mullinack continues to cement his spot in this lineup. Not only has he been getting it done defensively, but that offense really is where he created his opportunity. He earned his spot into that rotation in the outfield when you really couldn't figure out who to put out in left. His bat came alive, and you see it there. Piedmont really taking advantage. We saw it yesterday. Emory was able to do it. Now Piedmont with a 3 spot early.
Huge for the Lions here. There is a heated plate meeting going on right now. Or mound meeting, I should say there. It's the miscommunications between Reynolds and Ditchman I think cost them. I think that is ultimately what really rattled that situation, and then you leave that ball over the middle portion of the plate to Mullinack, which you just cannot do. And now you have no room for error because the third baseman, Kyle Carlson, is in the box.
Carlson coming in, doesn't have the best batting average on the team, but does have 11 hits, gotten into double digits there, has been successful with extra base hits, has 5 of those, so almost getting to the point of if he's going to make a hit, it's probably going to be for extra bases. He's got that power.
He's been in the 4 hole for the most of the year. He's now in the 5 slot today. He's ahead in the count 1-0 as Reynolds still struggling to find the strike zone here. Big swing and a miss there for Carlson. That'll be strike number 1. Reynolds is looking for that answer, Danielle. He hasn't been consistently missing in one place. He has been all over the yard. As that one's inside, crushed by Carlson. Will it stay fair? Yes, it does! Crushed by Carlson. It's a 2-run bomb. It's a 5 spot before we found an out.
Incredible start for the Lions. That's what you wanted to see. The bats have come alive. It's early on a Sunday, and right now it feels like it's going to be a fun one out here at Loudermilk Field. Kyle Carlson comes through, and the Lions absolutely smoking it so far today with a 5-0 lead. Outs are hard to come by.
Outs are extremely hard to come by, and Reynolds' day grows shorter and shorter as there is a rush of activity in that Emory bullpen. Once again starts behind to Sky Willis this time. The only question on that Kyle Carlson ball was, is it going to stay fair? And we had to wait on the umpire's signal. Couldn't even see really from up here if it was fair or foul.
I'll just go ahead and apologize for the amount of times that I punched you during that sequence.
Yeah, that one getting some details from our better side of the press booth here. Apparently he hooked it just around the foul pole there. And I mean, again, it looked like it. He got out in front of it. He hooked it pretty bad, but he absolutely crushed that ball. So another conversation between Ditchman and Reynolds occurs. And now we're back to the at-bat down in the dirt for ball number 2. Again, there were 4 to 6 players rushing down to the Emory bullpen to try and go get loose here. I think they're going to have to turn away from Reynolds very soon here as Willis swings through strike number 1. Two one on the way. Down in the dirt for ball number 3, and I mean, you can't really stall anymore, Danielle. He's taking as much time as he can. You're trying to give the bullpen a chance to work here, but he's in danger of letting on yet another runner.
It's not getting any easier.
Big swing and a miss there as Willis had the green light on the 3-1. Closest Reynolds has been to finding an out. The 3-2. Popped up over second base. Second baseman says he doesn't see it, and he refines it there. Shortstop almost made his way over. Finally, Reynolds gets out number 1, but Grossman not seeing that ball, Danielle, almost cost him.
It looked a little tricky and precarious at one point, but now you've got Colton Hicks coming up to the plate. Hicks, who was the tournament MVP for Piedmont in the CCS tournament last season, really key for the Lions getting to that conference championship, to winning that title. Has really been off to a slow start, but with the way things are going right now, maybe this is that turning point.
Ooh, fouled back off the catcher's helmet there. Umpire will take his time as a courtesy to Ditchman there. Looks like he's all right. I still have a personal grievance with the fact the NCAA has not outlawed the hockey helmet style masks. Of course, the MOB now transitioned to just the front face mask with the spring loaded to avoid concussions and the transfer of force. But Ditchman's good, and we're back to the action here as the 0-2 breaking ball is down in the dirt. Good pitch from Ditchman.
Said that Hicks was a little bit slower offensively this season, kind of getting things rolling, but not been slow on getting to the base paths because he's been walked a team high 16 times and really made the most of it once he's there. 14 of 16 on stolen base attempts. He's always a threat to run once he makes it to the base paths.
Hicks has a good understanding of that plate there as he takes ball number 3. Ooh, Reynolds really wanted that call. So did Ditchman. So the count runs full here. Ditchman hunts out number 2, grounded back to Reynolds. Fired to first, and they'll get him by half a step there. Reynolds a little casual, almost let Hicks beat that one out.
Seemed a little closer than it maybe should have been.
So 2 down in the inning, but we're already almost back to the top of the lineup. The 8-hole hitting Helgeson now stepping into the box. Again, the first baseman has been having a great year, Danielle, batting .300, and he's really secured that first base spot, not even because of his work at the dish, but his work on the defensive end.
Yeah, really great to see that from a senior, from one of those people that you rely on for that leadership aspect, stepping up and taking advantage of it. He really was key late in the year, of course, in the conference tournament last year as well, and really just continued to prove that. Had the opportunity to work closely with him with our Lions Leadership Academy, him and Kyle Carlson, the two that came and represented Piedmont baseball, and just great person, and you always love to see those people succeed.
Well, this one's grounded to second. Oh, and it's booted. And just when you thought Reynolds was finally going to get a chance to go rest on the bench, he will have to continue to stay out there. Danielle, his pitch count is already through the roof. He was 22 pitches before his first out, and that is not going to help him there.
it certainly doesn't help your confidence at this moment either to have what seemingly was a routine ground out get booted and for who knows what reason. But now the Lions with one more aboard and Nathan Mix at the plate hitting .333 on the season.
We'll see if Mix can punish him here. He's not a big gap-to-gap guy. He has 16 hits on the season, just 4 of them being extra bases. But you'd love to turn it over, maybe give the freshman Caden Stevenson, the lone freshman, we should say. Danielle, you were talking about seniors here. This is a extremely, extremely experienced lineup here. Just 2 juniors and 1 freshman. Everyone else is a senior.
Lions have also seen a lot of success with 2 outs here at home so far this season. We'll see if that tradition holds true.
2-1 from a weary Reynolds. Ooh, catches the corner there for strike 2. And now Reynolds. Oh, pick off to first there, almost caught him. Helgeson back in safely, a better throw, and it might have been an out. But Reynolds 1 pitch away from getting out of the bottom of the first. Popped up. Foul territory. Emory dugout scatters. There's going to be just enough room for the foul fly ball there, but it takes all 9 batters. Emory gives up 5 in the bottom of the first, and Piedmont with a massive lead early. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Top of the second here. Feels like we should be in the bottom of the third at this point with how long that first inning was. But it's 5 Piedmont runs, and Mativier is right back to it with the breaking ball in for strike number 1. Mativier quickly back to work here. Fastball in and sent right back out to left field for the first hit of the game for the Emory Eagles.
With how long the bottom of the first took, it made up for every bit of time that we saved in the top of the first. We've been at it for 25 minutes now. 5 runs scored. We'll see what Emory can answer with here in the top half.
The rough part from Mativier is you were in such a good rhythm in the top of the first, and then you had to go sit on the bench for 15 minutes because your offense was just sending the ball all over the place, that now you're cold coming back out here and you have to re-find that rhythm once again. Oh, 1 on the way. Fouled straight back.
Of course, we saw Zeke Swartz take the mound yesterday. Something that Joseph and I spoke about on Sunday with the doubleheader against Methodist was the fact that Swartz really had been just unfortunately not given the offensive support. So while Mativier might have had some time to kill out there, you'd much rather be working with a lead coming back out, where we had talked about at that point Swartz did not have a decision yet on the season, and that was purely just because the offense hadn't been there and been able to give him that support. He'd been pitching really phenomenally so far this year. Sits at 1-1 now on the season after yesterday, and Mativier clearly right back in the zone.
Felt that breeze all the way up here in the booth as Grossman finds nothing but air with that cut for out number 1. And Danielle, Mativier really doesn't even need the run support. He's been through 22 innings thus far this season with just 6 earned runs. I mean, you've given him 5 runs of run support here. He's got to be feeling good. That one is inside for ball number 1. So the 1-0 pitch here. Healthy lead at first. Runner not on the move. This one is yanked down the third baseline. Will go foul. This count moves to 1-1.
Mativier, CCS Pitcher of the Week, back on March 4th after a 9-0 victory against Ferrum. Had 10 strikeouts. That was the most in a single game to that point for a Lion this season. It was also a career high for him, as he had just 20 strikeouts last season, had 10 in a game already this year. So you can really see that progression that he's made from last season to this one.
And coming into today, he had matched his previous season strikeout total with 20. He's got a couple, I believe, here today, as this one's popped into center field. Sky Willis waits under it, and there's out number 2. Mativier's look extremely sharp. The quality of pitches has looked really good. Fastball's got some extra kick to it. The breaking ball is solid. And outside of the one Emory hit, the Eagles have not seen this ball very well out of his hand. So the left fielder, Hunt, will give it his best effort here. 2 gone already in the inning. Snap throw to first. Holloran not really a threat to run at first, but he's getting a healthy lead. So Mativier's behind a 1-0 here. Mativier's giving him a good long look. Now quickly to the plate on this one. Popped up. Mativier said he doesn't see it. Helgeson calls it. Hicks right behind him as well, but it'll be Helgeson for out number 3. So just 1 hit in the inning, no runs, and Piedmont holds that 5-0 lead. Bottom of the second here, Piedmont offense will look to pick up right where it left off. It's Caden Stevenson, second time this game, is back up to bat.
Yeah, right now we're on pace to go through the order every half inning.
9 at-bats for these guys today. Hope they're ready for that. It's Reynolds. He's going to try to pretend the first inning didn't happen. That's about his best hope here to extend his day beyond just a couple of innings. As he's off to a much better start here. He did not hit Stevenson with the first pitch. Ahead in the count 0-1. Ahead in the count 0-2. That's a fastball with a good little bit of movement on it. Check swing, grounded to third. This is a tough play. Fielded well, bobbled. Throw to first is off. We'll wait to see what the official scoring of that is. It's a tough play, bobbled.
Was ruled an error by our official scorer here in the booth.
I think that's fair. It was a makeable play. The bobble and the bad throw, I think, combined there to allow Stevenson to reach, because he was going to be out even after the bobble. If the throw's good, he was going to be out. So into the box goes Tyler Nelson here. Nelson was walked on 5 pitches last time he was in the box. So he is now ahead in the count 2-0. So plus count once again for Nelson. Same as he had last at bat here. Curveball in for strike number 1. And it feels like we're watching a repeat of his first at bat here, because this is the exact sequence we went through.
Nelson patient at the plate. And we'll see what Stevenson does on the base paths. He was aggressive last time, still does not have any stolen bases.
This one's flied into center. It will take the center fielder back towards the 400, but nothing he can't handle. Sicoli will secure that for out number 1. So Kate returns to the dish here. He had that infield single last time we were up. It looks like there was a disconnect of the comms on Dutchman.
Wonder if that's why we were seeing some confusion and some frustration in that first inning, where maybe he wasn't getting the signals in his earpiece.
Wasn't getting it correctly. Ironically enough, it's Piedmont legend Sam Carpenter out for the Eagles to work on that pitch comm there. Sam was a 4-year Friday starter here for the Lions. He was probably one of the best left-handed pitchers to come through the program in recent years. It's good to see him still around the D3 space. He's done a lot of good work with this Emory pitching staff here, but he's got to get Reynolds back on track, as it's already 5-0 here. Pitch to Cade is fouled back over the stadium here. It's a good hack from Trace Cate. Mullinack waits on deck. Stevenson still getting a healthy lead over at first. They're very aware of him. Reynolds quickly to the plate, fouled back off the umpire. And Cate's behind 0-2. The 0-2, never mind. It's an errant pickoff. It's thrown away by Reynolds, and that's going to give a free base to Stevenson. I don't know where Reynolds was trying to throw that, but it was not. It was not to the first baseman.
Again, it just kind of seems like everything kind of went off the rails from the moment that that first batter was hit by the first pitch of the game, because from that point on, it's just been a little jittery.
It has been. Wasserloff gave it a good effort there. He really almost made a spectacular catch to not award his pitcher the error there. Reynolds will make up for it, though. Backwards K handed to Trace Cate on the 0-2. And now Mullinack back in the box. He had a bases clearing double last time. This one's popped up, headed to right field here. And it's out for number 3 there. So Piedmont, much quieter in this portion of the inning, but they still hold that 5-0 lead. Metivier's back out on the bump for the top of the 3rd. Welcome back here, top of the 3rd. Adam Metivier back out on the bump. It's a shortstop. Conley to lead off for the Eagles here. Just 1 hit to their name. Might have just spoke it into existence, because there's the second one as it nicks off of Colton Hicks's glove. Sprays into right field. Kate has a cannon out in right, so it will be nothing more than a single. 3 errors thus far for Emory, 2 hits and no runs. Piedmont 5 runs on 3 hits. They've taken advantage of the free bases. Now the 9-hole hitting third baseman McAndrews into the box here. He'll take that for strike number 1. Wasserloff stands on deck as Emory looks to turn over the order. Metivier been working quick up on the mound. Now takes a long pause before delivering the 0-1. It's a changeup outside for ball 1. Metivier sets again. The 1-1 now. Ooh, almost kneecapped him there as that one goes to 2-1. Again, Metivier has had great control thus far this year. Just 3 walks coming into today as this one's grounded towards Hicks, and, well, that one finds nothing. It skirts into the outfield, and it's first to third. There for Conley. They're on the corners with nobody out. That ball was mashed 100 miles an hour at Colton Hicks. He tried to stab it out of the air, and it scoots right past him, ruled a hit. Now Metivier is in a little bit of trouble here, Danielle. This is not exactly where you want to be with nobody gone.
Yeah, tough having runners on the corners, nobody out, and maybe not quite as in control as he was or showed in the first 2 innings. Didn't have that long stretch in the bottom of the 2nd, really right back out to work, but a little bit slower start for Metivier here in the 3rd inning.
Back to the top of the order again as the pickoff is to first. McAndrews diving back in is safe. One-0. That one's up and out for ball 2. So now the situation goes from bad to worse. They're on the corners. You've given a plus count to the leadoff Eagle here. That's a big 2-0 swing. Comes up empty. Count will move to 2-1. Wasserloff would love a base hit here, guaranteed to score one. Piedmont would be fine to trade a pair of outs for a run. Here is the curveball, does not find the zone. That one did not have as much snap to it as some of the ones we've seen earlier today. Now 3-1 here. Biggest pitch of the day from Mativier, fired a fastball in, and it'll go 3-2, and he'll need another big pitch. Mativier, such excellent control, just 3 walks, 1 hit by pitch, and only 2 wild pitches in 20 innings coming into today. The 3-2. Hit him! Whoa, no, the umpire is going to bring it back. He called him out! Oh my goodness, he's going to say he leaned into the pitch and it was a strike, and he's going to call him out. Wow.
Twardowski not happy with that one, coming out to have his words and get his explanation.
Now the Emory coach is not going to leave this one alone. We might see.
You can see he's still standing on first, waiting for that full explanation. And Twardowski is going to take every second that he's given.
I initially thought that he might have leaned into that, but you rarely ever see it called. So I wasn't expecting it.
Very clear that the Emory fans in attendance not too pleased with that one either, making their displeasure vocally known.
Either way, call stands. It is out number 1. Who is Mativier goes up and around the head of Lawson there. Lost control of that one.
I think the Emory fans in attendance might have thought that was an abhorrent call by the home plate umpire.
Mativier behind 2-0 now, as that fastball is not going to find the zone. So Mativier's worked himself back into the exact same situation he was just in. Oh, and he's made it even worse here. Up in the zone once more. Counts 3-0 to Lawson now. And the 3-hole hitting. Coley stands on deck. 3-0 fastball catches the corner for strike number 1. Ground ball to first. What a play by Helgeson. He'll get the out at first. He's got no play left. But what a job by him to at least get one. Emory on the board.
Your senior coming through in the big moment, gets the out that you needed, and is smart enough not to try and force another play and end up forcing yourself into an error, a mistake. Concede that run. Don't try and get the third out on that play. Live to fight another day, and an excellent job by Helgeson there at first.
And we talked about it. He's in this lineup for his defense at first base, and that is a great example of what he brings to the table. As Sokoli's quickly behind 0-1 here, Mativier drops the curveball in for strike number 1. Just one pitch away from getting out of this inning. And what was a brutal situation, runners on the corners, nobody out. Allowing just one, you count that as a win. So Coley's now 1-1. This one's crushed into right center field. Willis is tracking it down deep in that gap, and he'll make the catch on the run. So just one run given up there by Mativier. Piedmont still leads 5-1, headed to the bottom of the 3rd. Welcome back here. Bottom of the third action. Kyle Carlson leads us off here, Danielle. 5-1, and we've seen a little bit of everything today so far.
Well, Kyle Carlson sent one out to left field, got the second home run for Piedmont this season. Both of those have come at home so far. And almost brought it up when we had bases loaded when Isaac Mullinack was at the plate because, I don't know, didn't know what I felt about broadcaster's jinx. Carlson puts that one into play, giving chase way out in right field, however. Doesn't get the call on this one. That one goes foul.
That's tough.
A lot of sprinting for strike number one.
Yep, just a long strike number one. I thought that might have been fair. Either way, Carlson will come back to the box. Wind's blowing pretty well out in right center field. We talk about the wind vortex above right field here at Piedmont. It is a very real thing. If you can get it up there, it will go. Carlson now back to even as that one's outside for a ball.
We talked about the power that he's shown clearly with that home run and then one sent way deep out into right field. Takes strike two, evens the count. Now with 12 hits on the season, he has evened that out where it is split 50-50 with extra base hits. Now adding one into the home run column. That power clearly evident for Carlson.
Great take there from Carlson as he's now in a 3-2 count. And you'd love that. Step up to the box every time you know you have a 50-50 chance of an extra base hit. Player's dream, coach's dream, and a great piece to have in the lineup here as Carlson will take that one down for ball number 4. Reynolds takes a long, hard look into the dugout before returning back behind the mound here. His pitch count has to be through the roof, Danielle. There's no way he's not at. I think 50 is probably the minimum that I would guess he's at.
Got to be approaching that. It's tough. That is just, I believe, the second walk he's had so far today.
He's been so deep in so many of these counts, too. It's just going to continue to kind of spiral. His 5-pitch walk to Nelson actually is better than some of the other situations he's been in. Skylar Willis now into the box. 0 for 1 on the day, and I look down for 2 seconds, and the ball is down the right field line, and to second base goes Carlson.
I believe we've got the same scenario that we had before. Another error on an attempted pickoff. How many times are we going to do it before we decide that's probably not the move?
Especially, again, when you're down by 5, when you're down 5-1, the base runner is not the priority. You need to get the batter out. You need to focus on being in the strike zone, and that's a good bunt there from Willis. They're going to go to third to try to get the out, and it's not in time, and Willis is going to advance to second on the errant throw.
We're looking at now 5 errors for Emory in the first 3 innings. I don't know what happened from the team that we saw yesterday that really seemed to play a pretty clean game, it felt like, from the bit that we got to see. But, man, the wheels seem to have fallen off early here defensively. Colton Hicks at the plate with 2 on and nobody out. It seems like we're deja vu back to the first inning.
And I feel like we need to mention this. This was a Thursday, Saturday, Sunday series. Thursday contest played down at Emory. These teams generally split 2-1, alternating every other year. So Thursday was down at Emory. Friday, inclement weather postponed that game, which is why we have a Saturday, Sunday set. Emory made 4 errors on Thursday at their place. So it's looking like an unfortunate trend for the Eagles because we've seen how they play when they don't make these errors. Oh, my goodness, they ran a suicide squeeze. Carlson's caught out here. 2, 5, 1. They're going to get the out there. And that has got to be some kind of miscommunication there because if you're running a suicide squeeze, Colton Hicks has to try to get that ball down.
Colton Hicks is very clearly displeased at this moment. And I don't know if he just wasn't on the same page. Now Craig's out here talking to Hicks. Well, that was just a debacle.
Yeah, that was all around a mistake, and I think Craig's time here is just going to be to try to resettle a very frustrated Hicks at the moment. And Again, interesting choice. If it is a called play or if there was some kind of miscommunication, but now rather than second and third, nobody out, you have a runner on third. The infield is in. And one out. Count is 2-1. Hicks is going to be coming out of his shoes here if he swings. All that frustration as he just misses this one. It's popped up towards the Emory dugout, but nobody scatters, telling me it's out of play and off the top of the dugout there. So Hicks down to his final strike. The 2-2 popped up once more. This one's going to carry a little bit more. Out into right field. First baseman's tracking it as well. It's caught in right field by the first baseman. Great play there from the first baseman, Wasserloff.
Again, you saw that frustration from Hicks as he tossed the bat on the run to first. Clearly displeased. Not what the Lions were looking for, and now you've got a runner in scoring position over at third with 2 outs with Owen Helgeson coming to the plate.
We've talked about nightmare scenarios, Danielle. That's one of them. Runners on second and third, nobody out, and you come away with nothing here. Helgeson can at least get you one, but he's quickly behind 0-1 after that breaking ball. The 0-1. Down 4-1 there. Helgeson back to that 1-1 count here. This would be his 10th RBI on the season if he can poke home Willis. Fastball fired in for strike number 2, and Helgeson's down to his last opportunity. Smashed into right field, but right at Lawson. So a good hit, but nothing doing. Piedmont strands 2 in reality. Only 1 left on the board there, but they still have a 5-1 lead headed in the top of the 4th. Top of the 4th here from Loudermilk Field. Heart of the Emory lineup. Due up here, Holloran leading off. The designated hitter for the Eagles, Grossman, will be up behind him, and then the backstop Ditchman due up third. Hunt will get the opportunity if one of these Eagles can reach, and well, 2 pitches, 1 single. It's Holloran again, 2nd hit of the day. So now into the box comes Grossman here. He is a strikeout victim today. Metivier made short work of him last time he was at the dish. Breaking ball in for strike number 1. That breaking ball has some snap to it. Eagles still have plenty of time to work their way back into this one. Piedmont has looked good offensively. They've had opportunities pretty much every inning to make something happen here, but that big number 5 in that error category for Emory, Danielle, is really the biggest red flag on that board.
Yeah, it's been tough going so far through the first 3. Really the opposite story from what we saw yesterday, as Emory took control early, was able to put up runs in the first and the third. It wasn't until a little bit later on that Piedmont was able to answer, and today we've really seen the opposite story.
This one is crushed into center, but it's right at Sky Willis. He's going back, and it has enough carry to get over him here. Clanks off the wall. Willis doesn't pick it up cleanly. Runners will hold it, just advancing 2 bases. It is a double for Grossman there. And now again, it feels like we're watching a repeat of last inning, because now it's the Eagles with runners on second and third, no one out.
Emory now officially with more hits than Piedmont. Not something that has really been uncommon for Piedmont. Lions have really been able to manufacture some runs in different scenarios, different ways. It hasn't necessarily had to all be power hitting, but Emory now with 5 hits to Piedmont's 4.
So it's Ditchman at the dish. Hunt stands on deck, Conley behind him. Ditchman's 0 for 1 on the day. He's popped this one up. There might be some room. Nelson's tracking back, throws the mask and secures out number 1. That's a huge first out for Metivier.
Big time play from your catcher, Tyler Nelson, really being able to have a good read on it immediately, get up under it. I know they really had some concerns about that behind the plate, having to get in a lot of the dirt there to really work on that lip, because the difference between the grass and the dirt there being so significant. Nelson has no problems there. Sure footing, camps under it, makes the out.
It's a good job by Nelson as well to just stay spatially aware of where he's at. We've seen multiple catchers really lose track of where they are. We started with the first neutral site game. First game at Loudermilk was a neutral site game. Opening pitch, the catcher ran into the back wall on a foul ball. So good job by Nelson to know his home park and know where he's at. That's a great block as well to keep the runner at third.
Just looking at the Lions' home record this season, 6-5, which kind of caught me off guard because it feels like they've had so much success here, but that opening weekend, 0-3, tough start, and then having dropped the last 2 at home against Methodist and, of course, the game yesterday against Emory. Now you're hovering right close to 500 with your record here at home, where Piedmont's really had a lot of success inside Loudermilk Field, and a win today would help bolster that record.
The 2-1 is popped up now. Hicks backpedaling. He will settle under it, and Metivier's gotten 2 big pop-ups, and he's now 1 out away from getting out of this inning.
Similar to what you said for Piedmont in the home half of the third, if you've got 2 in scoring position with no outs, you don't want to walk away empty-handed, and the Emory is in danger of doing just that, of leaving those 2 stranded after a promising start.
So Conley into the box, the 8-hole hitting shortstop. Grounds this one to second. Blocked up by Hicks. Fired to first, and he'll get the out there. Well done by Hicks. He uses his body to keep it in front, stays calm, and secures the out. It's Piedmont's turn to escape a second and third with no one out, and Piedmont now has that 5-1 lead intact headed to the bottom of the 4th. 9-1-2 due up for Piedmont here, which means Nathan Mix leads us off. The 9-hole hitting shortstop for Piedmont here. 0 for 1 on the day. As Reynolds is still out there, and he gets a big swing and a miss. Awkward swing from Mix there, and Danielle, minus his first inning. This has been quite the recovery for Reynolds.
It's very true. It did not look promising to start with, and they have been able to squeeze innings out of him.
Bunt fielded well, fired to first for out number 1. Good idea from Mix, execution not quite there, and Reynolds able to stay calm this time. Again, Emory has 5 errors. Reynolds has 3 of them there, which is rough on a pitcher mentally. So he's done a good job to bounce back into this one as Caden Stevenson now into the box here. He is 0 for 1, hit by the first pitch of the game in what feels like an eternity ago first inning.
Lots happened since then, but it's really only been an hour and 5 minutes.
Well, you love to hear that as this one's grounded to first, and I'll record that as a 3-U. 2 quick outs for Reynolds here. It's what he needed to maybe extend himself into this 5th inning, which is where you hope your starter gets to. And now the backstop Tyler Nelson into the box, 0 for 1 with a walk today. Hello to Nelson, breaking ball outside. Nelson's season average fallen below 300 now, hitting just 295. Still only 4 RBIs to his name there as he takes that for ball number 2, and for the 3rd time today is in a plus count. He has been 2-0 every single time he has stepped up to the dish. Now he's 3-0 here as Reynolds. Again, pitcher's worst nightmare. You get 2 quick outs, and then all of a sudden it starts to unravel with 2 outs.
Nelson, one of just 2 walks so far today for Reynolds.
Which, again, with the lack of control, is very surprising. Well, he's going to be one of 3 walks. Well, 2 of 3 walks now, as he'll jog down to first. 4-pitch walk this time instead of a 5, and Trace Cate's going to get a chance with 2 outs and a runner on. Signal there from the Emory coach in the bottom right corner of your screen is always one that you love to get as a hitter. He's telling his outfield to back up. And rightfully so. Trace Cate mashes the baseball here. Big swing and a miss there from Trace Cate. Danielle, some trivia for you and our viewers here. Piedmont has a special outfield arrangement for big-time power hitters. What do they call it?
I'm not going to embarrass myself with any sort of guess and tell you that I don't have the slightest idea, and I would love for you to tell me.
I am surprised Justin Scally has not told you what it is. It is called Texas.
Oh, he might be disappointed in me in this one.
He might be, but he will come out of the dugout and yell Texas, and the outfield basically stands on the warning track. It is very rarely used. I've only seen it used a couple times, but it is the ultimate respect to a hitter to put our defense in Texas. That one's down in the dirt for ball number 2. Count moves to 2-1. Most difficult out of the inning to get is the 3rd one. Reynolds not doing himself any favors here. 6 of his last 7 pitches have been balls. Make it 7 of his last 8. Count goes to 3-1.
Cate had the first hit of the game back in the 1st inning, singled to load the bases for Isaac Mullinack, of course waiting on deck.
Plus count for Cate. Big hack, but he fouls it off of himself in the box, so it will just be a foul ball. And now full count. Runner will be in motion here. I'm interested to see if Emory holds him on here. Emory coach is barking something at Reynolds and pointing at him, maybe saying, okay, he's telling him so he doesn't throw it away. He's telling him his first baseman is not holding him on.
Based on how things have gone today,
Yep.
that probably was good communication.
It was. So Nelson's going to be in motion here. First baseman trying to keep him somewhat close, but there's really no point. Nelson on the move. Kate hammers this one into left. Outfield is extremely deep. And so it will just be a long single for Trace Kate, but they're on the corners for none other than Isaac Mullinack.
Excellent work on the hit and run as Nelson on the go, able to round second about the time that ball was finally hitting dirt. And so runners at the corners with 2 out for Isaac Mullinack, who already has himself 3 RBI in the game. We've talked about him all game, how he's really come on strong this season and been a power hitter and somebody the Lions have really relied on. No bigger spot than this right now.
I wanted to highlight it there. The Emory coach moving his outfield back might have just saved the run, as Reynolds has clearly not learned his lesson as he once again fires over errantly to first base.
That's a long leash. I'm just saying.
Wasserloff just bailed him out. That was.
How many times can you do it?
Who knows? He's not learned. He is playing with fire, but the first pitch to Mullinack is popped straight up. Mullinack hasn't even left the box. He never even saw it. Emory didn't really see it either. The shortstop Conley will come over to grab it. So nothing doing with 2 gone. Piedmont still leads 5-1, but we're headed to the top of the 5th.
Welcome back to Loudermilk Field as we begin the top of the 5th inning. Mativier still out working on the mound for the Lions. First pitch inside for ball 1. Bottom of the order at the plate now, third baseman McAndrews to lead off for the Eagles. Puts it in play right at Carlson. Throw across the way. It is high, but Helgeson able to snatch it, get down in time for the first out. Great play by your first baseman to make the first out of the inning on a throw that was a little airmailed from Carlson.
Well done there. Bail out Carlson and maintain these quick innings for Mativier here. We've turned it back over to the top of the order. Swing at the first pitch once again is Wasserloff. He has had a busy day over at first base. He's 0 for 2 at the dish, but he's gotten his exercise in over at first. One's outside for ball number 1. Wasserloff has a decent amount of pop for a leadoff hitter. Does have a home run on the year, 13 RBIs. Has 4 doubles and a triple as well.
Emory comes in with a lot of power because in looking at those home run numbers, Power shown there as that one's just laced down the left field line past the reach of Carlson. That's going to be a stand-up double for Wasserloff at the top of the order. Showcasing it there, Emory coming in with 12 home runs this season. Piedmont had just one coming into today. They've really had the power and showcased it there with the extra base hit.
Yeah, 12 home runs. We saw a couple bombs yesterday. I mean, again, to get it over the Piedmont scoreboard and to get it over that center field wall, I mean, you're in the 400s.
No small feat.
Yeah, that you tip of your cap when you give up a ball that's hit that far. They also have 40 more RBIs than Piedmont coming into today. They have 139 to Piedmont's 89. So this Emory offense, again, don't be confused. What Mativier is doing right now is wildly, wildly impressive.
Have played 3 more games than Piedmont, but again, those numbers don't add up.
Oh, that is hammered into right field, but it's right at Trace Cade here. No tag. That's a mistake.
Cade does have an impressive arm. You'd have had a shot for sure, but Cade is one that it would be questionable.
I think that's a risk I'm willing to take, though. Cade's jogging backwards there. He has no momentum coming forward. He's deep in the outfield. I mean, if he throws you out there, you tip your cap. No, I agree with you. I think Cade probably
has the best shot, but I agree.
He puts it close, but that's a risk, especially, I mean, you put the runner 90 feet away.
And you're getting to the middle of this contest as you're in the top of the 5th now, and it's the sense of urgency is going to continue to increase, down by 4.
Yeah, maybe if that happens a couple innings later, we'll see him give it a shot. Now you really wish you did it because that scores a run. Wild pitch there from Mativier. Good hustle there from Nelson to keep it from going in the dugout because that's an extra base if it makes its way into the Lions dugout. But again, hindsight's 20/20. But you look at it now and you're like, well, maybe it should be 5-2. See if Mativier can make them pay for their mistake. He's behind 2-0 here. To Sicoli, who hit the first bomb here yesterday. Oh my goodness, he might have done it again. If it stays fair, it is gone and it hooks foul. Wow. He hit it over the scoreboard yesterday. He about hit it halfway up Purcell Hill today. And that would have been his 5th home run on the year. So Adam Mativier, let's not throw that pitch again. Count is 2-1. Breaking ball, chopped to short, fielded by Mix, fired to first, and well, the long foul ball leads to an out. Mativier makes him pay for a base running blunder, and Piedmont leads 5-1. We're halfway home. Halfway done here from Loudermilk Field. Carlson leads off the bottom of the 5th, where Piedmont leads 5-1. Davis Barlow, Danielle Percival here. It's Carlson, big swing and a miss there. Piedmont tacked on all 5 runs in the first inning. We thought it was going to be a short day from Reynolds, as it took him 22 pitches to find his first out. But now he's resettled in here. He'll get Carlson. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Big swing and a miss there from Carlson.
Carlson now 1 for 2 on the day. Of course, was walked earlier as well. Now bringing up Sky Willis. Also has a hit so far today. 1 of 5 so far for Piedmont.
This one's fouled back here. Hicks is supposed to be on deck here, but there is a pinch hitter in that slot. Spencer Muffaletto. That's a name I don't think we've called here at Loudermilk before.
Talked about all the seniors in the lineup. If that is the case, we would be adding another freshman in to potentially come into the infield.
That one's pool cued over to the Emory dugout there. And quickly behind 1 and 2 here. A 1-2 on the way, fouled straight back, and we'll do it again. So we'll do the 1-2 again. Line shot into right field, and Willis is aboard with 1 gone. That's his second hit of the day. And the change will become official here as, well, Muffaletto needs to tell him that he's making the change, but hadn't quite done it yet. That's a very... So there we go. Pinch hitter is official. Has gotten some at-bats this year. In fact, is batting 1,000.
This is his 4th appearance in a game so far, just his 2nd official at-bat. Does have a triple that was a 2 RBI triple from back, I believe it was opening weekend. If not, it was the 2nd weekend of home tournament play. So not too shabby. Runner goes, and he shows that power deep into left field. Runner was going on the pitch. That's going to be an RBI double. And Muffaletto comes in showing that he's got what it takes. Makes it worth the money.
And you feel great as a coach when you do that as well. Send the pinch hitter up there, and he comes through in a big way.
Willis with great heads-up play there, running on the pitch, and just what power shown there by Muffaletto. You really need that, as that's something we talked about that Hicks has not been possessing so far. He makes the bold choice to try and get something going, maybe make even a spark defensively by putting some new life in there, giving a freshman an opportunity, and boy, does he come through there.
So Helgeson's 0 for 2 on the day. He grounds this one to short. Fielded and fired to first by Conley for the 2nd out of the inning. And now Nathan Mix into the box looking for RBI number 19 out of this 9-hole. That is so impressive.
Leads the team. He's really been able to finish off what the rest of the order has been doing ahead of him. Really great to see him succeeding offensively. You've talked about the fact that he's really been there for the defensive presence he provides. And now especially if we do see this change and it is Muffaletto who ends up staying in, being able to have that senior there in the infield working with a freshman, really going to be key to try and help build him up.
Jam piece there from Hicks goes foul, and he's quickly behind 0-2. Big pitch for Reynolds here. He'd been smooth sailing since the first. Now has worked his way back into trouble. Mix will make him work a little bit harder. This one is a foul the back again. The 0-2. Got him swinging. Reynolds out of the inning, but he gives up a 1 to the freshman pinch hitter. Piedmont takes a 6-1 lead into the top of the 6th here at Loudermill. Welcome back here. Just 4 frames left to play. Piedmont holding that 6-1 lead as Metivier's back out there for his 6th inning of work. 1 pitch, 1 long out here to Willis as he secures that and tosses it back in for out number 1. So again, you love that. 1 pitch, 1 out. Didn't even get to record Holleran as the official batter. Now Grossman into the box here. He'll take strike number 1. Ditchman on deck for the Eagles. This one's a line shot into right field, and it's a 1-hop single to Trace Kate. Emory, base runner once again in the inning.
Now, this is catcher, Blake Ditchman.
Strike taken there by by Ditchman. Quick check on Grossman over first. Correct myself, Grossman was actually the one that hit it over the scoreboard yesterday. It was Sicoli that sent the one out over the center field, while the longer of the 2 shots there is we're going to get another F8 here because Sky Willis is camped under this and he'll secure it for out number 2. Now this should be Hunt, but it is going to be a pinch hitter for the Eagles here as Wilson steps into the box.
Pitching for Emory, number 3, Nick Wilson.
So Nick Wilson Infielder from California, graduate student. Transferred from Irvington to Emory here. He'll get a chance at the dish. He's quickly behind 0-1. And just as Piedmont's looking for that spark, Emory's trying to do the same. This might be just a pinch hitter here, as again he's in the lineup now for Hunt, who was in left. Conley still stands on deck. McAndrews has a bat behind him. 1-1 pitch. Taken for ball 2. Maybe up, maybe out. Two-one pitch from Mativier. Breaking ball down for ball number 3. And now similar to Reynolds, Mativier struggling a little bit to find the strike zone with 2 gone. And that one's down low for ball number 4. So a 5-pitch walk issued to the pinch hitter. Conley into the box now with the opportunity to get the run back for the Eagles here. Runner in scoring position. Healthy lead at second base. Mativier will not pick off. He's going to do his best to get the out here. Conley now to center. It's a jam shot, but it carries enough where Sky Willis is able to get under it. So, a little bit of danger for Mativier, but he's through 6 complete with just 1 run given up.
Back here at Loudermilk Field as we begin the bottom of the 6th inning. New pitcher for the Eagles. It's number 32, Sam Allswing, on to pitch. Has pitched just an inning and a third so far this season, so coming in to get a couple innings of work hopefully here in the middle portion of this one. Couple defensive changes as well. Nick Wilson, who entered as a pinch hitter, now at first and moving out to left field. Previously at first, Wasserloff now camped out in left as Piedmont is back at the top of the order to start the 6th inning.
Not surprised to see Wasserloff head to left field. He was very athletic over at first, helping out Reynolds. This one's grounded to short, fielded and thrown well there by Conley for out number 1.
Stevenson retired, which will bring up Tyler Nelson. Does not have a hit so far today, but does have a pair of walks in his first and last at bat.
5-pitch walk in his first one, 4-pitch The one before, and we've mentioned how patient he is, and, well, what a surprise. He takes ball 1. Big swing and a miss there on the 1-0 for Nelson. Same pitch, same result. Swing and a miss. Counts it 1-2. The 1-2 from Allswang, hammered into right center. They had him shaded that way, and it pays off. As it is tracked down by Sicoli for out number 2.
Made the play on the run. Nelson maybe not the one that you expect to really, you're not going to have a whole lot of firepower necessarily behind it. He can drive the ball deep, but your next 2 hitters coming up, those are the ones that could scorch it past you. And so Sicoli having to run after that one could be a little bit more of a treacherous situation if you're not playing deep enough on these 2.
American flag out in right field is really blowing out here. So if you can get the ball up, you've got a chance as Kate takes strike number 1. Nelson took full advantage of it, just didn't get quite enough air under it. Allswang fires, grounded to second, tossed over to first, and well, it's a 1-2-3 for the new arm for the Eagles. So we head to the 7th. We're 2/3 of the way done with this one. Piedmont leading 6-1. Welcome back here. Piedmont 9 outs away from closing the door on this one. They've got a 5-run lead over Emory. Grounded to third. Ooh, Carlson ran a screen in front of Mix and didn't field the ball. It's a hit for the Eagles there. Rough situation as Carlson and Mix will have a quick conversation, and it's the leadoff runner aboard for Motivia here as he's looking to get through a 7th inning of work.
Yeah, so far this is his 5th start of the season. He has gone no longer than 6 innings so far. Haven't looked into it to see if he did enter in the 7th, but has not recorded an out past the 6th inning. So if he is able to record an out, this would be his longest go of the season. Consistently has given up the hits, has given up 30 hits coming into this game, 10 in both this first start of the season and his last coming into this one. Gave up just 3 hits against Ferrum, 8 here today. That's kind of where he's at, that sweet spot between 7 to 10 hits in 6 innings, but he's really limited the damage, and the defense has been working behind him.
He's only given up 7 earned runs all year long in 26 full innings. So that one's down in the dirt. Emory, with that hit, Danielle, now out hitting Piedmont again, despite trailing 6-1. I mean, it's not a mystery to see which stat is the reason for that, but that one misses low for Mativier here. 3-1 is the count. There is no action in that Piedmont bullpen. He is going to get through this inning. 7 might be the end of his day as he will get a pop-up. Blowing out into right center. Willis is under it and he'll secure it. Mativier now officially through 6 1/3.
So officially his longest go of the season so far. Of course, through 5 starts. We talked about how he earned CCS Pitcher of the Week back at the beginning of March following that game against Ferrum, a 9-0 victory for Piedmont. Gave up just 3 hits, had 10 strikeouts in that one as well.
Well, he's going to make the case for CCS Pitcher of the Week again if he can get through this 7th inning with no more earned runs. Again, just 1 earned run so far today. He is behind in the count here to a very dangerous Lawson.
Just 2 strikeouts today, but also just 1 walk surrendered as well.
Second ball is down. Again, the real scary part of this lineup will appear in this inning. This one's hammered down the right field line, but fouled where Piedmont keeps the tarp. Count will go to 2-1. Again, the big bombers of this lineup. Sicoli, Holleran, and Grossman all are in the next 3 batters. Squared to bunt and then pulled it back and takes strike number 2. Again, Holleran has 4 bombs. Sicoli has 4 bombs. Grossman with only 1, but he does have 14 RBIs to his name there. Pickoff attempt at first, trying to keep the runner honest. But you'd love to get to Sicoli with 2 gone. Again, he has 27 hits on the season. 13 of them have been extra base hits, and 4 of them have left the yard for 23 total RBIs. Coming into today, that is. So 2-2 now, after that one trickles foul. Mativier delivers. Down in the dirt. Count will run full. Some movement in the pin now for the Lions. This one's poked into center. Not too much on it, and Willis will track inwards to secure that one. Mativier 1 out away from getting out of the 7th.
With Mativier working into the 7th right now, no save opportunity unless something drastic were to change in this one. Saw Bodie Eilertson, who pitched on Thursday against Emory. He came in and earned a save in the final 3 innings of that Ferrum game that Mativier had in that 9-0 game. But right now, no save opportunity. Another one popped up. Trace Kate giving chase. Looks to be camped under it. Makes the play for the final out of the inning.
Love to see it. Through 7 is Mativier here. Not sure if that's the end of his day or not, but either way, the Piedmont offense coming back up. They've got a 5-run lead. Bottom of the 7th. We just finished stretching here at Loudermilk Field. Stadium pretty well packed out. Kids returning from spring break this week. Classes back in session for the last 8 weeks. Starting tomorrow here, Isaac Mullinak to lead off the inning for Piedmont.
It's gotten progressively more overcast today as it was pretty sunny with some clouds as we were getting started, but you can tell it's still in the 70s, but it's definitely cooled off now that the sun's not shining, and it has become a little bit cooler, seemingly, at least in the confines of the press box.
Yesterday was glorious up here, 75, sunny. UV was out. Demers can't make up its mind, though. Tuesday high 55 with a low of 32. So, can't decide if we're done with winter or beginning spring here. That's a rough call for Mullinak there, as he's now behind 1-2.
You mentioned how nice it was yesterday. One of the small joys in life is, as an SID is getting to put in the weather and stat crew. Perfectly spring was the description yesterday.
That is a good description as the 1-2 misses inside. Speaking of spring weather, Demers going to be warm for us on Wednesday afternoon for a midweek contest here for baseball. Again, they have just 3 home series left and 2 midweek contests left. Some of those being CCS games. They welcome a top 10 nationally ranked team in Birmingham Southern, as that's a walk there for Mullinak. Tough schedule for Piedmont remaining, though. They have a road trip to number 15 CNU, Christopher Newport, that has historically not fared well for Piedmont and against some of these higher quality teams from the north, but a real opportunity to make a statement after losing to multiple top 25 teams earlier this year.
Really challenging schedule, something you've got to do right now with the no automatic bid, trying to bolster that resume and give yourself a shot should you be able to make a case at the end of the year that the resume speaks for itself and you deserve a shot to continue on into regional play.
Which is why you see series like this against an Emory squad. Don't be confused. They might be 10-8, but 6 of their 8 losses have come by 1 run there. And again, the conference that Emory participates in is extremely strong in all forms of athletics, not just baseball, but beyond into all categories of men's and women's sports. So they're a good regional opponent to play. Birmingham Southern will bolster that as well. And then the CCS actually has a couple teams that can really bring it. LaGrange at one point last year was ranked in the top 10 and was about as much of a lock for the tournament as you could think before they dropped both contests to open the CCS tournament.
Tough break, but I know for head coach Justin Scally, no better place to go win a conference championship than on the Panthers' home field.
And Piedmont would love to play it here this year as Carlson's ahead 3-1 in the count. That is a huge hack and a massive fly ball when it's just outside of the bounds. In CCS tournament mid-May, we'll follow regular season play. 18 regular season games, 6 series for the teams, 3 at home, 3 on the road. This one's skied into center field. And handled by the center fielder for out number 1. So Sky Willis back up to the plate here. He is 2 for 3 on the day. Love to see that.
One of 2 Lions with multiple hits in the game, joining Trace Kate. That's good company to be mentioned with as well.
Line drive out to right. Hit it a little bit too hard, as it is directly at Lawson there for out number 2. Now all swing just 1 out away from getting out of this inning. Danielle, we were talking about CCS play. It begins for Piedmont this month, and it begins on March 28th. Thursday, Friday, Saturday series. They host a Bellhaven, making that 9-hour drive over from Jackson to Demorest.
Coming up on Easter weekend that weekend, thus creating the Thursday, Friday, Saturday schedule rather than your normal Friday through Sunday.
When Piedmont follows after on that Wednesday with the midweek action against the nationally ranked Birmingham Southern squad before they hit the road for more CCS action Big swing and foul back off the catcher. Umpire will take a minute to make sure he's good. Then they have a Friday-Saturday series. Friday night and then a Saturday doubleheader with Covenant there. Of course, Covenant not able to play on Sundays. That forces a Friday-Saturday setup. And then back on the road before coming back to Demorest for the Huntington series. And then one last CCS brush-up before the conference tournament at Maryville in May.
Muffaletto showing some
Lord.
firepower there on those hacks. Down 0-2 in the count with 2 outs, 1 on. But Muffaletto 2 for 2 at the plate on this season. Of course, as this is now being his second at bat of this game. But already a double here, a triple earlier in the year. Pretty good odds. And everyone thought that was the last pitch of this inning.
I think he thought it was too. So he gets a gift there as that it painted the corner. Emory dugout did not like that no call.
Everyone froze.
And Muffaletto was ready to head back to the dugout here. All's well that ends well for Emory. Grounded to third, fired to first, and they'll get him by half a step. So
perfection had to come to an end at some point.
it did. So 2 frames left here. Piedmont still leading 6-1. Four, 5, 6 due up here for Emory. Holloran leads it off, the ever dangerous designated hitter. Crossman stands on deck. Ditchman behind him, though. I do see a different number with a bat, so maybe not. We'll see how this inning plays out. Mativier back out for his 8th inning of work. He might be through 7 1/3. Nope, that one's going to track a little bit too far for Trace Kate there, but the count will move to 1-1.
As we spoke about this already, the longest outing of the season for Adam Mativier. His longest outing of his career last season was 7 2/3 at Huntington in a victory for Piedmont. Did give up 5 earned runs in that one, but Piedmont walked away victorious 10-6. So Mativier looking to see if he can match that or even get past that for a career high.
Strike 2 fired in, and he just needs 2 outs to match it. Needs to get out of the inning to complete it. He was 88 pitches coming into this inning. He's now at 91. Here comes 92. One hopper handled well by Mix, tossed over to first, and there's out number 1 on pitch 92.
Solid work defensively by Mix as that one was coming in quick, able to flip it to first with no struggles. Didn't even look like there was a whole lot of chase there by Halloran on his way to first.
Grossman into the box. Kim Newell is the pinch hitter on deck, so Ditchman's day behind the dish will be done. Mativier back ahead here. Interesting to see if they'll let him come back out if he gets out of this inning? The Piedmont bullpen is quiet, so I'm going to lean with yes. As he is now ahead 0-2 here. Pitch number 95. Set to come here. The 0-2. Fouled off. We'll do it again. Oh, thought he got him there. That is a rough no call. Count will go to 1-2. So on pitch 97, Mativier hunting his second out, and he gets it fouled into the glove, handled well by Nelson. And now the pinch hitter Newell will make his way into the box. That means Ditchman's day is now officially done. We'll see if Newell stays in at catcher. Probably not. He is listed as an infielder. Couple options on this Emory roster to go to for the catching duties in the bottom half of the eighth.
Mativier now matching that career high for number of innings pitched. Last Piedmont Lion to pitch a complete game was Zach Courtright from a season ago. Took the loss in a 4-1 contest at Belhaven. Pitched all 8. Of course, that at Belhaven, no need to pitch the 9th.
When you're behind, that makes
Correct.
sense.
So had to go back and look at the stats to see when the last complete game was for a Lion, as we may see the opportunity for Mativier to compete for it here today.
Didn't know. It makes me curious when the last complete game win was for a Lion, because again, Mativier slotted for the win. We might take a look at that between inning breaks here, because Mativier is 1 strike away from getting to the 9th. That Piedmont bullpen, 0 activity. They are going to let Mativier finish this one. Big swing and a miss on the breaking ball. He's through 8 complete with just 1 run given up. Piedmont offense due up, and then we'll see if Mativier's out to close the show. Welcome back here Piedmont leading 6-1, likely their last time at the dish. 8-9-1. We'll do up Helgeson mix and then back over to the top part of the lineup. Ooh, that paints the corner against Helgeson there. Count moves to 1-1. This one's popped into foul territory. Ooh, it's hugging that line. It actually might drop fair. Doesn't matter. It's caught in foul territory. So popped up by Helgeson. Now mix into the box here. And Piedmont, quality day at the plate. 6 runs on 7 hits. They've been aided by 5 errors from Emory. Pitcher for Emory this inning is Paul Fine. Jonah Ronsky took over the catching duties behind the plate as Mix singles into right field. Oh, pinch hitter here for Piedmont is going to be number 24, Mac Barton. This is a big one for Piedmont. Again, Barton missed the first series of the year, Danielle, and I think Piedmont really would have loved to have him in the lineup. He is such a great bat. He spent some time at first, but he really has found his home in this DH spot. And in a weekend where the offense was lacking and missing a key piece of what is normally the middle portion of your lineup is always rough.
Up until today, had the only home run for the Lions. That was a grand slam in the first inning, I believe against Oglethorpe. And has shown that he's got that power. Wind's whipping out to right field right now.
It is, and the parking spot that he hit that ball into is empty once again, so he doesn't even have to damage anybody's car if he wants to put one out there today. Big swing and a miss there from Barton. That looked a little bit awkward on the shoulder. So now behind 0-2. Pitch is down, base is stolen there by Nathan Mix. Well done by him. That one's up and out. Count goes to 2-2.
Mix now 3 for 3 on the year for stolen bases. Hasn't necessarily been the biggest threat there, but has been successful when running.
Big swing and a miss there from Barton. Fine picks up out number 2, and he's 1 out away from posting a 0 in the home half of the 8th. Nelson would love to change that. The 0-0. One's fired in for strike number 1. This one's fouled off towards the Piedmont tennis courts, and Fine is 1. Wait, did somebody catch that? There's a very big round of applause. I think somebody caught that.
Based on the reaction just given from the crowd, it seemed to be an over-the-shoulder lean back.
Love that. Great crowd reaction here, but back to the action on the field. Runners on the move. 0-2, big swing and a miss by Nelson. And now the moment we're waiting for. Does Mativier come back out? Does Piedmont turn to the bullpen? We'll find out. Top of the 9th coming up. Welcome back here. Mativier is out for the top of the 9th, and, well, the script writes itself. The last Lions pitcher to throw a complete game, 9-inning set, and win the game stands in the Emory dugout, as Piedmont legend Sam Carpenter did it in 2017 at Huntington, went all 9 innings for the win. Mativier now 3 outs away. He's 1 strike away from being just 2 outs. And the scriptwriters really worked on this one, because the odds that Carpenter is in the building for this, even if we're this close, is beyond measure. That breaking ball was down. Fastball's poked out to right field. Tracking it is Cade at the warning track and makes the long catch. Ooh, found a rough part of that wall. He is okay.
Mativier with the nice fist pump into the glove, getting that first out. Big here in the top of the 9th. Davis, the toughest part to swallow from that statement that you made was talking about it during the break, and you telling me that was 7 years ago.
It has been 7 years since a Piedmont pitcher has gone all 9 innings and gotten the win. Mativier stands 2 outs away from doing it. His pitch count was already in the hundreds when we started this inning. He will pay for this for the rest of the week physically, but it is worth a chance to go into the history books like this. He's behind 2-0 here, but he can't really afford to continue to tax that arm. He's now behind 3-0 here. He needs to get back in the zone here. Lead is pretty much secured. I think he knows it. I don't think Justin Scally would run him back out there if he knew that the lead wasn't at least a little bit safe. But that is a 4-pitch walk.
We are going to see Scally head out just to have a word, little conversation.
Yeah, there's no activity in the bullpen here, so I think it's just to resettle him. No, they're going to make the change. The pitch count got a little bit too high, and the change will be made.
Coming out to a standing ovation, rightly so. An earned one for Adam Mativier. Longest outing of his career. Career high 8 1/3 innings. Gives up just the 1 earned run, 8 hits. and leaves with a 6-1 lead, looking to add a win in the win column for Adam Mativier.
So no history today. The Submarine pitcher, Justin Manis, is on for the Lions, and he will look to get these final 2 outs quickly for Piedmont to put an end to today.
Mativier came into today's contest with the lowest ERA among the starting pitchers in that typical Friday, Saturday, Sunday rotation. Obviously, this weekend really a little bit strange because of that Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, kind of a day behind, but Mativier has typically been your Sunday guy, so he's kind of back on that schedule, looking to move to 3-2 on the year and keep that ERA moving in the right direction.
It's been a good weekend overall for Piedmont pitching. They look solid on Thursday. They look decent yesterday, -1 big inning, and then they've looked extremely excellent today. Senior Justin Manis, again, going to look to just kind of keep it where it's at here. He's seen a decent bit of work. He pitched earlier this series against Emory, in fact. Went 1 inning on 1 hit, 1 strikeout, no walks.
Came into that Thursday contest behind Tyner Simpson, who got the win. Freshman working on the mound 4 2/3 after Bodie Eilertson got the start, only able to go 2 1/3. Tyner comes in, really cleans up and had a clean outing. Impressive for the freshman to pick up the win, but Manis coming in now working his second stint of work against the Eagles.
So Piedmont's able to take 2 of 3 from Emory. It'll look good, especially later in the year. These Eagles always seem to figure it out. Danielle, we talked about it last year. They came up to Piedmont, got swept last year, and then went on a
tear.
something like 18 to 24 wins in a row. Ended up making a regional after that. They came up here with a losing record, in fact. It was really their coaching staff had pretty much almost written off the year, and then they figure it out, turn around, do what they do, and I have a funny feeling they're going to do the same thing here once they clean up some of the defensive mistakes.
You said it earlier, that 10-8, nothing to scoff at. Similar situation here where this team is capable, and this team has what it takes to really get things together down the stretch. That one poked out to left field, going to drop just in front of Isaac Mullinack and put 2 on with 1 away.
Okay, so maybe not completely done yet. Emory's turned to the bench once again. Adrian Armstrong, the pinch hitter for the Eagles. Here they have 2 on, 1 out. They would need to score 1 and load the bases. That would bring the tying run to the plate, and then of course you need a grand slam at that point, but I've seen stranger things in college baseball. Manis delivers. That one drops in for a strike. Count goes to 1-1.
As it stands now, if this does end up being our final score line, or if we minimum do not go to the bottom of the 9th, Emory will have out-hit Piedmont now. That's 9-8.
Manis fires that one past, and yeah, again, you erase some of the blunders from the Eagles earlier in this game, and you're looking at a much more tightly contested ball game. The 1-2 now. Poked into left once more. This one's got a little bit more behind it. It's secured for the second out. So 1 out away from closing the door on yet another weekend series here. And if you missed the spring break action, there's a midweek action coming up for Piedmont. It's Wednesday night.
6 p.m. against the College of Wooster.
Always an interesting one there. So we'll see how that shakes out. I don't believe these two teams have ever met before, so there's a first time for everything. That one's up for ball number 1. Count goes to 1-1 here. And it's just 2 strikes away from escaping. Oh, it's fouled off there. I don't know how they are figuring out how to hit that. Potentially the last pitch of this game. Nope, we'll do one more. Breaking ball outside, doesn't come back enough. Count goes to 2-2. Hammered into right center field. That'll get down for a hit. Runners will play station to station. And now the bases are loaded. And if you're Emory, this is who you asked for at the plate. Sicoli into the box here.
We will see head coach Justin Scally head out to have a word with Justin Manis. Because as you mentioned, this is the guy you want in this situation if you are the Eagles. And we will see a call to the bullpen. We'll see who's coming down to replace Manis. Gets one out, but the bases are loaded now. Is that Braden Sims coming in, or is that Dalton Anderson?
It's a good
We'll get
question.
confirmation. Braden Sims, typical Piedmont closer. You are in that situation despite the score line, where this could be the guy that you're looking to have come in with the firepower to hopefully quickly get that one out and eliminate the close call here.
We'll take a short break while Sims gets used to the mound, and then we'll come back for the last and final out of this one. Don't go anywhere. This ninth inning just got a little bit more interesting. Third pitcher of the game, or of the inning, I should say, and game for Piedmont.
All true.
Is all true. Is Braden Sims here. He needs one out, while Sicoli, the man who went over the scoreboard yesterday, stands in the box.
You working with a little reverse broadcaster's jinx there?
I'm hoping so here, but that is not a great start from Sims as he's behind 1-0 here. Holloran stands on deck. Again, you couldn't ask for anybody else if you're the Eagles here. No excuses with who you have at the plate. That's strike number one. The 1-1. Inside for ball number two. I can just tell you by how Sicoli is loading, he is trying to hit this ball on top of Purcell Hill. Now, he can't tie it with one swing. He can only bring the Eagles within one. The 2-1. Sicoli crushes this ball deep into center field, but it's not deep enough. It's caught at the warning track, and just like that, Braden Sims gets the long final out. Piedmont closes the weekend series with a second win over the Eagles of Emory. Hats off to Mativier. What a game.
6-1 your final score. Not sure if you were with us in the top of the seventh when Mativier was getting to the point of having his longest outing of the season. The comment was made that unless something drastic changed, there'd be no save opportunity, but Piedmont baseball, we found a way, and now Brayton Sims with his 4th save of the season as the tying run was on deck. He comes in, gets the job done, and the Lions get their 10th victory of the season.
Lions move to 10-6. Emory falls to 10-9. Piedmont right back on schedule, right back on track where they need to be. It feels good. Midweek action for the Lions before they take that long and dangerous trip up to Christopher Newport there, with the current number 15 team rankings come out again before that. So I think CNU might even be a little bit higher up than that. But thank you so much for joining us here all weekend long. Spring break's done. We're back for the second half of the semester and looking to close out on a high note. So for myself, Danielle, Joseph, all of us here at Piedmont Athletics, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you Wednesday night.